In 2021, Apple launched a new generation of MacBook Pro with Apple Silicon. For the most part, it was well received, particularly with its performance, the return of MagSafe, HDMI, an SD card slot, and best of all, no more touch bar. But the most notable feature that got people up in arms was the camera. Oh, not the camera itself, but rather the things surrounding the camera. A notch. This garnered quite a bit of controversy, and to be honest, I don't get it. Okay, I would be lying if I didn't understand why. It can be a bit of an eyesore and it's not really necessary, but I didn't really make a big fuss like others did, especially after trying it out at my local Costco a few years ago. Guys, the notch is real. Some people have even gone as far as calling the notch a gimmick. I've seen PC laptops with features that could be justified as gimmicks, like a second screen in place of a trackpad on this Asus ZenBook. Seriously, who wanted this? Me. One particular content creator who rode the notch bandwagon for a while is a good old friend of mine who you're probably familiar with.
Hey guys, how you all doing?
Now, I'm assuming most of you know who Crazy Ken is. He's a guy I've been doing research work for, plus I've made a few cameos in his videos here and there.
Hey Sage, you're inside my computer. That's so cool. How'd you get in there?
Magic.
When the new MacBook Pro came out, Ken did a couple of videos explaining the notch and how it works on a software level. They're pretty informative videos in their own right, and I highly recommend checking them out for more context. He also made a pretty good point about the notch from a marketing standpoint.
It makes the product stand out more, in my opinion, because most laptop displays are just a rectangle, so this, I think, helps it stand out a bit. It's the purple cow, if you will.
So why am I specifically bringing up Crazy Ken and notches? Well, around the same time, he started putting together a project that involves the latter, in the form of a physical book, called The Notch Book. Now, the title may sound like the name of an autobiography of Marcus Pearson, but it's actually a photo book about, what else? Notches in tech. The Notch Book launched in December of 2021 alongside Computer Clan's Etsy store, which also sells other items. The book came in two editions, a regular softcover edition for $35 US and a hardcover autographed Pro edition for $80 US. I'll briefly explain the Pro part later. The front cover depicts what looks to be the inside of a 2013 Mac Pro, and before you ask, yes, it has a notch at the top. The back cover explains pretty much what the book is about, saying that there are notches all around us. Well, we'll see about that. When you first open the book, you're greeted with the preface, which is basically the same text as the back of the book. This is then followed by the table of contents, which gives a brief description of the photos you're about to see in the book. Obviously, you have to start with the most well-known Apple products to have notches, such as the MacBook Pro and the iPhone 12. But then it starts to transition into other Apple products, such as the G4 Cube and the MacBook's camera, both of which have a notch shape. Even the classic Macs technically had a notch shape if you look carefully. Wow, I never knew my Mac Classic had such a thing. But it doesn't just stick with a variety of Apple products. The book also showcases non-Apple stuff, such as some Sony Handycam batteries, which kind of have the shape of a notch when you think about it. Or how about some silicon graphics computers? They technically have notches. Or how about the windshield of a car? Okay, maybe that's pushing it a bit. But by far my personal favorite has to be the PowerBook 105. I won't give away exactly what it is, but it is the most humorous out of the bunch. But as mentioned before, there is a Pro Edition, which contains some exclusive bonus content. For obvious reasons, I can't show them here, unless you buy the book. According to the Etsy listing, it contains a digital copy of the book with bonus photos not shown in the print version. You also get behind-the-scenes photos showing how the shots were taken, along with high-quality digital copies of the photos shown in the book. And last but not least, you also get a pack of wallpapers, which you could already get on the Computer Clan Patreon, or through a $5 wallpaper mega pack on Computer Clan's Etsy store. These wallpapers are really good, so much so that I use one of them as the default wallpaper across my daily drivers. And that is all there is to say briefly about the Notch Book. Overall, despite it being short, it is a pretty decent photo book. The pictures have nice colors and are very well shot. I was hoping for something more descriptive like what Diesel Era offers, but for what it is, it's not half bad. But let's face it, as I brought up before, it was made to ride the bandwagon of the MacBook Pro notch. As of when I'm making this episode, the Notch Book is out of stock. But if and when it does go back in stock, unless you already have a copy, I would definitely recommend checking it out. Going back to the MacBook notch itself, I'd have to agree with Ken on this. Not only does it make it stand out against the PC counterparts, but it also gets people, even those who weren't going to buy it in the first place, to talk about the product regardless of opinion. Any press is good press after all. And to those out there who say it's technically possible to implement a webcam on thin bezels, you might want to do your research a bit. Bottom line, the MacBook Pro notch was just another pointless controversy, and I'm kinda glad we've moved on from it. I mean, what's next? 8GB of RAM in 2024 is a joke? Anyways, the next time you call the MacBook Pro notch a gimmick, just remember, there's always things out there that deserve to be called a gimmick. And that is all I've got to say about notches.